Alek Manoah is one of the most dominant pitchers in the game of baseball. Just take a look at his stats from the past 2 seasons. Absolute shutdown baseball. And last year he was rewarded with his first All-Star nod and a fully deserved 3rd place finish in the Cy Young voting. So why is it that everyone in the media talks so poorly about him? As if his numbers are a fluke and he doesn't deserve any of the recognition. I have 3 examples to show you guys, but make sure to stick around for the last one because it's just straight up hilarious. A few days ago, Jonathan Papabon went on the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast and ripped the Jays apart. He stated that the Jays and Red Sox are competing to not get last place in the AL East, and signing Chris Bassett and his 4 ERA won't help the Jays when they don't have a legitimate number 1 in the rotation, completely bypassing Alek Manoah. Sure, he didn't say anything directly about Manoah or anything like that, but by not even mentioning the guy who in 4 games against Boston last year threw 26 innings, allowing 3 earned runs and having 24 strikeouts, you just look like an idiot. I don't want to get too fired up about this because the guy does have some screws loose in him. Remember when he blew a save against the Marlins in 2015 and then proceeded to grab his crotch in front of the fans that resulted in a 7-game suspension? Or when he choked Bryce Harper in the dugout? Yeah, safe to say this guy is pretty crazy. For the 2023 season, Papabon is joining the NESN broadcast booth once a week to talk about the Sox before or after their games. And I can't wait for the Jays to absolutely obliterate them all year long so he can eat his own words on live TV. Moving on to the second example, one I think more people know about, the Anthony Recker situation. Recker is an MLB Network analyst and a former big league catcher. And during an episode of MLB Network earlier this month, Recker said, and I quote, "Love you, Alek. Just show me you're willing to put a little more time in the gym and that you're going to be there consistently for a little bit longer. I still love you." Something I've always found funny is when someone is shaming another person, they always say a compliment like "I love you" afterwards. And this guy said it twice in a 1-sentence long quote. Newsflash, it literally means nothing. Manoah then clapped back and said that what he has done in the gym has clearly worked and to check the numbers, which warranted another response from Recker stating that he wished he had a tiny speck of talent like Manoah, which makes sense. Let's take a look at Recker's career stats. And as you can see, absolutely nothing special. Nothing compared to a top 5 pitcher in the MLB. And finally, the most hilarious of them all, let's take a look at what Steamer projects Manoah will do in 2023. But first, let's take a look at Manoah's career stats as a refresher. As you can see, very impressive numbers. Now, here's the Steamer projection. Yeah, it's pretty laughable. Listen, a 4.14 ERA could happen for Manoah. Take Stroman, for example. He went from a 3.09 ERA in 2017 to a 5.54 ERA in 2018, but that's being way too pessimistic. I'll be open to exploring why there could be cause for concern, with the biggest argument that Manoah is a somewhat lucky pitcher. He sported a 244 BABIP last year compared to the league average of 285. If you don't know what BABIP is, I'll tell you. It measures the batting average of balls hit into play. So a lower BABIP for a pitcher, the somewhat luckier you are. This helps the case, but even then, his expected ERA was only a 3.31 last year. Even then, a 3.31 ERA is still a top of the rotation number. To expect one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball to go from a 2.24 ERA all the way up to a 4.14 the year after is absolutely insane, especially when Manoah has never had a season like that in his entire life. He had a career 2.81 ERA in 218 innings pitched at Western Virginia University, a 1.54 ERA in 35 innings pitched in the minors, and so far has a 2.60 ERA in 308 1/3 innings in the majors. It seems like no matter what this man will do, he is never going to get appreciated the way he should. With Anthony Recker, it's all about his weight, but we've seen time and time again guys that are bigger produce in the MLB. Even Manoah's battery mate gets a lot of hate for it too. But that's a story for another day. With all of this in mind, do you guys think that there is some sort of agenda against Manoah? Let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing. Only a small percentage of people watching are actually subscribed, and it helps me out a lot. I plan on posting 4 to 5 times a week, and with baseball season coming up, you're definitely going to want to be kept in the loop. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.